all of this talk that's out there right now about the year of the snake and it coming to an end and what that means, what it looks like, coming into the fire horse year, and how that relates to you and your life and energy and all the things. Hello, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Expand and Evolve podcast. I'm so excited because we have a guest joining us this week, Meena Jagpal. She is a classical Feng Shui master from Momentum Feng Shui, and I actually had her come do the new property that I guess bought, and I'm renovating and whatever I'm doing over there. I had her come and clear energy from that space, and of course, once it's actually getting built and all of the things, she will come back. But I know I was feeling energy there. The designers could feel energy there, and so she came over to try to help just, clear the space, allow any stuck, stagnant energy out of the space. And I have worked with her personally. And so I'm really excited for this conversation. I'm going to allow her to jump in and kind of talk about what Feng Shui really is. And then we're going to jump into talking about all of this talk that's out there right now about the year of the snake and it coming to an end and what that means, what it looks like. We're going to do a meditation at the end. So you can listen to the podcast, but prepare for that we will do some meditation, maybe a visualization also towards the end. And then we're also just going to chat about what that looks like coming into the fire horse year and how that relates to you and your life and energy and all the things. So I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so glad we got this on the calendar. And if you maybe want to talk a little bit about what Feng Shui is for people who maybe have no idea what that is.
Thank you, Carly. First of all, I know you have a very you have a platform where I've heard you talk from different angles about energy, and I'm just very appreciative. And the timing couldn't have been better. Right
Yes.
now, we're going through the phases, and I'm excited to share that with you. For somebody who gets this, it gives me joy to share from that angle. But first of all, thank you. Yes, Feng Shui. That is my calling. I practice classical Feng Shui. I pay respect to where it originated over 5,000 years ago. My training, the master's, the certification comes from actually spending time in China. And then in my practice, as you've experienced firsthand, I have included energy clearing component. For me, I am all about first releasing the previous stagnant energy from our dwellings, walls, ceiling, paint, carpet, furnishings, before we embed the precisely calculated Feng Shui tools. So for me, they will both go hand in hand. First, releasing what's not serving us and from our spaces, and then placing the Feng Shui tools.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And is there anything you want to share in regards to just what the benefits are? Because I think for some people, and I know for me being, I don't know, when I was younger, I used to hear about this through either realtors or people saying like, oh, only Chinese people want their homes like this. I remember hearing those types of, phrases around it, not understanding that it's not specific to a type of person and where you originate from. Just because people in China practice this doesn't mean that you can't bring these practices here into the Western and the modern world. And there's beauty to that. And I think when you came to my property too, even to the point of how a door is situated, how windows are spaced, and it allows for the flow of energy through your home. And I don't know if there's some like high level basics maybe you want to share about the benefits and what people can see improve when they actually pay attention to this within their home. But I feel like that could be really helpful for people to understand the value behind it.
Yes, definitely. As you're aware, a lot of the modalities originated in Asia. Let's take Ayurveda, let's take meditation, yoga, a lot of the holistic practices. They originated in India, and Feng Shui, yes, from China, and Reiki from Japan. And we can go into many other modalities. And yes, they have been brought into the Western world. Reason for that is at a human component, the human level, we will all benefit from it, regardless of what country we're from or where our background's from.
Mhm.
And it's about time we start practicing them around the world and they're experiencing their beautiful benefits. So yes, Feng Shui originated in China, and in the 80s, it was brought into the Western world, known as Western Feng Shui. That is a simplified version of it. And where the East is this, or the back left-hand corner is wealth, the back right-hand corner is love and relationship. it's a good introduction. I practice classical feng shui. For me, it was all or nothing. That's why going back and learning from where it all originated from. Classical feng shui, the difference is that it is very precise. Where's the energy entering from? If you have a home in a corner, if you have a home that where you are in a condo where the large doors are at the back, not the front door. If you have a home in a cul-de-sac or you have a view lot at the back where you're seeing mountains and water, your energy is entering from there and not your front door. So I take my compass reading from there versus the front door. That's the difference in classical feng shui. When was that dwelling born? When the energy got sealed, when the roof went on. So a lot of the square footage, all that is taken into the calculation, and that is feng shui. Now, in general, how does one benefit from classical feng shui? It is the flow of energy. Energy is there. Energy is there. Our spaces are always 100% full. It's never 99%. Whether it's in a drawer, whether it's in a closet, in a room, in a home, office, in our car, it's always 100% full. But what type of energy is it?
Mm.
Is it prosper, serving, healthy energy, or is it stagnant energy of maybe previous illnesses, injuries, relationship adjustments in life, health, and just overall, because that energy, until it's released, well, by default, it multiplies. We have to make an effort to release it. And that is why I went back to India to learn the energy clearing ritual. I've combined both. I'm the only feng shui master that I know of that puts so much emphasis on first releasing previous energy, making the space. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, too. Releasing with the wood snake and then making the space for the fire horse. So you see, it holds so much value.
Okay, I didn't ever think about that no matter what, energy is gonna fill the space 100%. So do you wanna go into that a little bit more? Because for me, I've never heard it put that way, where regardless, it's always going to occupy full space, and it's like what energy is filling the space. And for someone, I don't know, I think of myself where I'm like, okay, I have this home and I've lived here for however long, and people lived here before. And so is it, I guess from my perspective or the people listening, like if I come into this space, is it my energy that's filling the space? Or am I also not competing, but sort of with like the energy that was already existing in that space? And can we clear it out ourselves based on who we become? Or is there still sometimes stuck stagnant energy that's going to be like in a closet or a wall or in clothes or whatever?
Yeah, that's a huge topic, and let
Yeah.
me try to put it into. But no, it's very important. Yes, because we are talking about energy. So from what you said, is it your energy or is it the previous energy? It depends. It depends on the dwelling. Because right now there's so many beautiful souls working on mind, body, and soul. Okay, I myself go to some of the energy dealers for different things. I mean, it is just I have a lot of faith in that. I connect myself with the right beings, and I do that. But right now, talking about the energy in the space,
Mhm.
that is my calling. Okay. That is what I pay so much attention to. It's the space that houses us. We can go out there and we can take different courses. We can get our masters in something. We can work hard as an entrepreneurs. We can put in 18-hour days. But when we come back home, what type of energy is it that's supporting us? Now, to answer your previous question about is it our energy or previous energy, it depends. Let's say you moved into a new house, brand new. Okay. The only energy that's in there is of the materials. Where did they come from? The wood. Who was nailing the nails? What kind of
Mhm.
energy did they place into it? Who was cutting the granite and the 2x4s and so on? Okay. That energy is there, but for overall, it's pretty much a clean slate. But now, let's say we're going through life concerns. As I said, maybe relationship issues, maybe
Mhm.
ups and downs of career with children, some people wanting to have children, health concerns. Now that energy will house itself in the walls and ceiling paint carpets, like I said, and multiply. Or a lot of times what happens is clients that say, we were in that house or we had a business in this dwelling. We were doing amazing. Okay.
Mhm.
All of a sudden we moved here. It's been 6 months. It's been 2 years. We unexplainable. We don't know what's going on. And that is the previous energy that we don't know. So one of the questions on my questionnaire that's very important to ask is, do you know the history of the home? Do you know
Mhm.
who lived here before? Do you know if they moved on in a prosperous way? A
Mm.
lot of times the clients do know because they're like, well, when we came to look at the house, there was somebody sick here, or we found out they went through a relationship breakdown. That's why they had to sell the house. You see, then I sort of focus on how to release it. But that's okay. I have very powerful energy chimes. They pick up everything. But having said that, that energy, now when a new person moves in there, that energy is still there.
Mm.
And it's just going to continue to multiply. And your other question was, is there something they can do? Yes, I reset the home, I reset the business, I reset the space, especially when it's a construction and releasing previous home's energy before we build new dwelling on it. And
Mm.
that's very important. But before I leave, I always show them how they can maintain it.
Mhm.
You don't need to see me back again. It's once I've released, unless, something huge happens again
Mhm.
and feel the need, but I guide them. It's easy to maintain. And one of the modalities that you know of, the powers of the full moon, releasing
Mhm.
during the full moon, we have so much at our disposal. It's the awareness and the
Mhm.
intention. Take the time, use those modalities, use those moon phases in this case. And it's easy to do, but a lot of times we need that original reset.
Right. What I was just thinking about as you said that, because when we bought this home, I remember knowing that the previous owners were going through a divorce. And I said to my partner at the time, I was like, oof, I feel like we're walking into a home that we inevitably are going to get a divorce from. And now here we are 3 years later, we've been separated. And it's almost like whether it was the energy of the home or I also knew internally, I don't know, but I will never forget thinking like, ugh, there's something here. And that energy is going to leak into us in some way. So I find that really not funny, but interesting how same thing with prosperity or money or whatever, that different spaces can create different things. Because even for myself, when I moved into my California home, thinking, oh my gosh, California is so fun. And it changed my business. Like, I was not able to function in the same way. My business wasn't growing in the same way. And yeah, it could have been life circumstances and stuff like that, but I don't think it was. And like, it was really interesting because that property, they always had water issues. So like they had had floods there. They had had to redo it. They had had um just always water. Like something was always wrong with water at this home.
Now, you use the word water
Yeah.
as I was thinking to ask you that once wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So, no.
we
Yeah.
end up finding out after we purchased it, and I think this is interesting because if you can go into this a little bit, but um, we end up finding out from the neighbors, like, oh yeah, they always had issues. There was always like, there had a flood or they had this happen. When we moved in, we planted all these new trees, so we had to add sprinklers to it. It flooded. Our entire property flooded. One time we were filling the pool, it flooded. Another time, all of a sudden, our ice machine was broken. There was water underneath our brand new floors. We were like, what is going on? Like this house had this like water omen on it. I don't know. And it changed my business. Like I couldn't, no matter what, we were having money issues. I was making great money, but there was always something going wrong. And so it came to a point where I was like, even though it looks great and we love that we're in California and there's a pool, like I need to get rid of this. Like I was like, I need it out of my life. And I still don't really know reasons behind that. I'd be curious to know what it means about all the water, 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 but how it impacted the people before us and the people before them, and then me too. And all of us choosing to sell because we were like, we don't know what is going on with this space. But if we would have known someone like you, maybe someone could have come in and helped clear it. I don't know. But I'm curious for you, like, what does that mean? Like, if you're constantly having the same type of issues, is that related to something?
So first of all, let me just shed some light on what you shared about the type of home. You're talking about your California home and what your desire was and what ended up, how it
Yeah.
ended up not serving you in your desire
Yeah.
or in business as well. So first of all, in classical feng shui, because we do precise reading, it's not just
Yeah.
to get this type of home or
Yeah.
it's facing south or west. It's very accurate. At 127.2 to 21.9, it's precise. According to that, each dwelling around the world, okay? Whether it's a home, a business, a shopping center, it falls into one of four types. One type is good for health and health of relationships, but needs help with prosperity, either inviting it in or, like you said, retaining it.
Mm.
Okay. The second type are the type that clients say, Mina, since we bought this business or we moved into this house, we're climbing up the career ladder. We're building franchises. Life is good, but we're having concerns with either health or the relationship. Okay. Third type, there's a small percentage that's good for both. And the fourth type needs help with both. Regardless, once I figure out what type of a home it is, this is the service that we provide where when clients are ready to purchase a home and they're deciding between the two. You see, they've
Mm.
met geographically, the budget, the mortgage amount, the number of bedrooms, everything is great. But now, which one is going to serve them? This is when feng shui comes in. Okay.
Mm.
It could have been the one that was not being served by the prosperity. And when it's needing prosperity, it's always needing a water fountain outside the house in a certain location. Again, all these remedies are very simple, but we only know what we know. You purchased it for desire and it totally, for lack of other words, backfired, right? So having said that, now point number two about the water. When we have any plumbing issues out of nowhere, let's say clients will share with me their last 2 years or their last 6 months, the dishwasher went outside, plumbing went, the flood happened in the basement. Almost always when it's water issues, it's stuck in oceans.
Mm.
Electrical issues, things, foundational, different things. When it has to do with bursting pipes, floods, unexplainable water issues, and repeatedly stuck emotion. So then we work on
Mm.
releasing the energy. I guide the clients to go get Reiki. I
Yeah.
recommend the person to them releasing our stuck energy, and I work on the spaces, release that energy. Let's free up so that you can continue forward full force. So water
Right.
has nothing to do with it. And lastly, I wanted to add when you say California, generally speaking, I don't know how close you were to the water, but water, when it's too much water energy, this is why I work so hard on the washrooms in the homes to ground their energy. When interior designers go in, they make it look beautiful, like a spa with a lot of blue in it,
Mm.
adding extra layers of blue, which aesthetically looks great. But as a feng shui master, we do the opposite. There's too much water energy. Too much water energy is turbulence, up and down, up and down.
Mm.
Okay. Even if you were to Google general feng shui and say, what is the symbol of water? It's this.
Right.
But it's too much water, especially in California, especially when we live close to large water bodies like Mexico in certain places. It's too much of an emotional imbalance. Therefore, not we can't ground our energy to
Mm.
concentrate either on the career or studying or whatever it may be.
Interesting, because that's how I felt. Like I couldn't. We were only like 12 minutes from the beach, so the ocean, and I just felt like there was no focus. Like I had no focus. It was great. I felt great, but I had no focus when it came to
I
accomplishing or
totally
achieving
get that
anything.
part. Yeah. And you know what? Again, Carly, the reason I practice classical feng shui, we have something very similar in India. I could have trained in that. But the reason I chose this is, and I'll catch myself saying this often, is there's a remedy for almost everything. Now,
Mhm.
we only know what we know.
Yeah.
And so you did your best under, you wanted to move there, you bought the perfect space, you have good intentions. But again, that was what you did within your awareness. But
Mhm.
ground that energy, it's really a couple of small crystals embedded according to where I feel they need to be to ground the energy so that outside out it doesn't seep in.
Mm.
That's as simple as that.
I love that. So why don't we jump into this shedding? So shedding of the snake, what it means. People are moving through this energy. This horse here coming up. I feel like it's everyone's kind of talking about it, so people are hearing about it. But what does this really mean? And we're recording, what day is it? February 7th. We're going to try to get this out by the 9th or like 10th-ish. Um, just so that people have time to listen, prepare, do some of the stuff we're going to talk about before approaching the fire horse here. Because I think you kind of mentioned this at the beginning. There is preparation of shedding what needs to be let go and released before stepping into that next chapter. So if you maybe want to share a little bit about that and anything that you feel called to share in regards to that.
Again, the timing of it. We've been feeling it. We've been feeling it for a while. As you're also aware, I heard you talk about this before. We also completed Universal Year 9, end of
Mhm.
December. Okay, we completed that calendar. We are now in the brand new year, universal year one, and the first year of another 9-year cycle. So talk about new beginnings. Having said that, that started on the calendar year, the solar calendar. Okay. Now we are still in the final shedding phase of the wood snake. Okay. So on one hand, we're saying, okay, we've already opened up a new chapter, another brand new universal year one. We haven't gone into the year of the fire horse, which is coming up in the lunar calendar. And now we're still in the final phase of the wood snake shedding. Okay, so right now until February 16th, we still have another 10 days. So again, it's not a switch that we turn on. It's not to say that, okay, on February 17th that, that we're just, we're going to turn on a switch and all of a sudden we're in the fire horse here and whatever we didn't shed is going to move forward. Yes, that is true. However, we still have time. And in my practice, I am big on intention. It is not follow this or follow that. Yes, those are guidelines, but going inwards.
Yeah, because I've been feeling that, taking more time for myself. And unapologetically, like I can just feel that things are shifting, but in order for them to shift and not lead to burnout almost, I'm feeling this need to, I don't know what the right word would be, like I guess recluse or almost cocoon myself in my own space, in my own energy before, and kind of get really clear within myself. Because I think part of what can happen is like you see so much on social media, if that's what you're using as a platform to consume, and if it is regarding the fire horse year or the year of the snake or what to do and like there's so much out there, even like an eclipse is coming and your zodiac sign's this and so you need to do this, and there's so much coming at you where sometimes the answer is actually like just pull back and sit with yourself, because the answers are most likely going to reveal themselves. So similar to what you said about what do you need to release or shed, I feel like, okay, well, for the snake part, how long has this been going on for? Is this from only last year, or has it been
Yeah.
longer than that?
Well, not last year, as of
Well, like
February.
February. Okay. So I always say, like, reflect on the last year before you even go into this new year of, okay, think of last February. What is that? February 2025 until now. What have you felt? Like there's probably a theme or you're noticing something that you need to let go of, whether that's physical or emotional. I know for me, a pattern that's showing up really big right now is the pattern of enduring. Like I'm like, the word endure keeps coming up where I endure beyond what I need to at my own detriment. And so I'm like, okay, this is just coming up right now to bring awareness to, for me to now sit with it, move through it, whether I need to journal or do movement or cry about it. I don't know. I don't have the answer yet of how I'm going to process and move through it. All I know is it's showing up for a reason, because it isn't meant to come with me into this next year. So I think take that space and that time to sit with yourself and start to see, what is it trying to show me? What's kind of getting aggravated and brought to the surface? Because that's what you're meant to leave behind before entering this new cycle.
It's having that awareness, Carly, and you have it, and you're good at sharing it with others because we're guides. We're if we're put in a position of a guide, then we've got to do our part. But when we're working on ourselves, like you said, there's so much on social media out there, and it can get overwhelming. And sometimes we're like a sponge, like what's next, and we soak it in. But that's not necessarily where the transformation happens. The transformation only happens when we go inwards. Now, let's talk about the shedding of the wood snake. Okay. So by reading so much out there isn't shedding, it's actually absorbing more, right? It's good to have that awareness. People know now this is the phase where I myself put out content out there once a week, bringing awareness, but then providing solutions on how they can do it.
Mhm.
No, it is go inwards, really go into. So as an example, there's 4 types of release they can do. We'll keep it simple. One is physical release. Okay. Physical release is go and tackle one drawer, maybe once every few days. The drawer that, you've been getting the signs in the back of your mind for 6 months, a year, it has to be done. You just didn't get to it because we get overwhelmed. And so this is why we say start small. A drawer, a room, a closet, one area in your home somewhere, and release. So I'm going to share something with you where my clients have told me over the years that, Mina, this makes so much sense. So I'm sure it will really resonate with your listeners as well. Is Imagine your entire home, your four walls and the ceiling as a box, and it is 100%, okay, filled with energy. Now, let's say you tackle one drawer, the utility door or a door in your office or something, okay, or a small closet or something. Let's say you freed up 2% space in your home or within that room, or 5%. Now you have just created space for the universe to deliver you what your desires are and where you're manifesting, because you actually made the effort to create that space. When everything is 100%, closets are overflowing, things are, in the meantime, we're stressing about this needs to be done, but we haven't gotten around to it yet. The universe is like, fine, make the space. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I have a question on this because I'm like, I just cleared out my closet and it's already full. So I went through and cleared out mass amounts of clothing and it's already full again. And so like, what is that? Like, is it because things are always occupied at 100%, something's always going to fill the space? Because I've talked about this with some of my friends where we're like, we clear out so much, I don't even know how this could ever fit back in, but it's already full. And we're like, where did it get full from? Because like, where was it all before? And so I just noticed this in different spaces where no matter how much I clear out, it's always refilling up. Is that like a normal thing of energy and space? Like the space is always going to be full? Or like, what is that? Is that
Two
law of
things.
the universe?
You know the answer. I have to ask the question.
Yeah.
When you say always full, is it full with new things on where you're at right now? Or is it full with the stuff that you keep buying mindless, not you as in general,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just, but things mindlessly that are showing up, or things that we keep pulling out and bringing back in?
It's new. Like, I
Okay.
guess I shopped a lot in the season, which I normally don't.
Okay.
So I
So
I
that
refilled it.
staying carding. You're staying
Yeah.
card. The universe has blessed you with the finances. Now we're just
Yeah.
talking about you. And if somebody's going out and charging up a credit card and then stressing about it, that is not what I'm talking about. We're
Mhm.
talking about, this is what I was saying. When you're freeing up the space, the universe is giving you more of where you're at. Now, in this case, we're talking clothes, but it could be any blessing in life. It could be more, if let's say you freed up some digital space on your computer or your contacts, the universe is now bringing you the right fit to network with.
Mhm.
See, so it applies in different shapes and forms. Each person's life's journey is unique, so
Yes.
we can't generalize it. But going back to your question about what causes it, it just really depends on what type of stuff is coming back in. But
So not
staying
grabbing the
intentional.
old to refill it. It's like,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
Yes. The other thing on that topic, very important and resonates a lot again with the beings that I've shared in the past, is when we are of a mindset that I can't release this. I can't. You know what? That one day, well, what if I need this again? We've all gone through it. I've gone through it. Um, what happens in the subconscious mind is we're holding on to things and not having faith that the one day when we may need it, the universe will deliver.
Mm.
And again, it's human beings. The key is surrender. That was my word of the year last year, was surrender. And really surrender on what is it that we need to let go, so we can have faith that when we need, they'll be here, it'll show up in some shape or form.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the
My
physical clutter that we were
Yes.
talking about, right? And then emotional release. Emotional release is all about what are the feelings that we are holding on to. He said this, she said this, they're always doing this to me. Just emotional release. Go inwards and free up that space. Not just free them up, but free yourself up first. Journal,
Mhm.
because there's so much power in writing down. And don't revisit and then house that energy back in again. Really journal your thoughts, and then if you have to release it during full moon, light that journal or that piece of
Yeah.
paper, release during full
Mhm.
moon.
Right.
Right. And the other thing is mental releasing all the old decisions that I shouldn't have done this, I could have done this. Mental release also involves releasing in the emails that we might revisit one day.
Mm.
releasing anything sad from an ex that might take us there, releasing all that that's still housing in our mind, body, and soul, and energetic release. This is so important. Once you've done all the physical and digital release, emotional release. Take a long bath, even if it's once a week. Just soak yourself in salt. Himalayan salt is great for that. Light a candle and go inwards, inwards. That's what energetic release is. Release that energy, free up that energy. Envision yourself in white light, and really feel it. Sometimes all it takes is 5 minutes in the morning. And I know I'm speaking for myself, it gets me through most of the day. And if I have to do another reset at some point, I will, but 5 minutes.
Right.
Energetic release is so important. We're in the phase right now of the wood snake. This is the opportunity. It's awareness. Because, like they say, whenever we don't release, we'll go forward with us. Maybe not on the 17th, but we're,
In
we're
some
not seeing it.
way. Okay. So, for example, let's say, because I'm just thinking about different conversations I have with people. Um, just as a simple example, maybe. So let's say, okay, you dealt with a situation with an ex, like delete the text messages, delete the stuff you're holding on to clear the space. Because otherwise, do you think there's still like this energetic cord that's attached in a way when you're holding on to all of that? And even through like photos, do you feel like like everything? Is there a way to healthily hold on? Look, where it's like memories that if they feel positive, for example, then there's no harm because it's held in a different way. Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
that's two different things. You see, like
Yeah.
we're talking about things that are not serving us, and then
Okay.
what? No, no, that's good. That's a great question. But then
Yeah.
we're also talking about in a positive way, right?
Mhm.
Anything positive in our life is positive. It's just that's what it's going to contribute. But right now we're talking about things that are taking us back to something that has already is done and over with. Is in the past, almost like an illusion, and that's it. Leave it there. Now I'll share something with you. When I do energy clearing, I go through the whole house. We'll use a house as an example. I go through the whole house, the furnace room, the basement, the crawl spaces, everything, because that's dark spaces is where energy houses itself. It's not always just in the kitchen and the dining room, right? So now I have very powerful Zenergy chimes. Okay, so the Zenergy chimes are programmed with to pick up what is stuck in the space and what's
Mm.
not stuck in the clients. And even when I do it virtually sitting in my office, I'm like, what's in that third drawer? You don't need to tell me, but there's something in there waiting to be released. Now, when you talked about, as an example, let's say a previous relationship, okay, two things that came to my mind right away are my own clients' experiences from the past over the years. One was virtual. It was outside of New York, somewhere, New Jersey, I think, somewhere years ago. And the other one was here in Fraser Valley, in person. And one of them, I have no idea. I don't need to know unless they want to share. I have no problem anybody sharing, but I really don't need to know. But I bring it to their attention. One of them was, I said, that closet in the third bedroom, which you're using as a guest bedroom, there's something in that closet that is asking to be released.
Mm.
Okay. And she shared with me it was her previous wedding dress from 15.
Oh,
Okay. She's moved on, but that energy was still occupying space. And if it's
interesting.
100% and it's 2% when it comes to manifesting our next life phase is still huge. We
Right.
want 100%, right? So having said that, and the other one was somebody worked at like a breaks, I think it's called breaks, is the safety the people that go get the cash and stuff. And he used to work with them, and he had a bulletproof vest, and he was
Mm.
done. But for some reason, that was years ago. And this is my virtual one in the U.S. And it was in his man cave. It was in one of the closets. I don't know that. I'm sitting here, and
Right.
my Zen Johns are like, no, no, go back, go back. There's something stuck in there. It's waiting to be released. He was blown away.
Mm.
Again, this is just. I could write a book on these experiences, but this is to go back to how powerful energy is. It's ready to serve us, but we've got to do our part to release it.
Right. I love that. Okay, amazing.
Once a month,
Um,
so quickly once a month,
Yeah.
we get reset, honey. The
Yeah.
reminder of the full moon. It's a beautiful blessing from the full moon.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we start operating that way, like I know for women, I've really tapped into understanding my cycle and the different phases and what it's calling from me. And it's kind of interesting that as I'm leading up to whether it is the moon or it's more related to when I'm about to start my cycle, how you naturally feel the urge to like clean a little bit or purge a little bit or organize something. And if you start paying attention to that and just lean into it and create the space for it, every month you're going to feel that call or that pull to go organize something, and if you keep doing it, eventually things just stay organized. Like, I know I've been leaning into that more, and it is, like, you do a cupboard at a time, and it's crazy how much that can help rather than thinking of all of it at once, because otherwise that's just too overwhelming.
Yes, it is
Yeah,
too overwhelming. And speaking of the moon phases, we also, if we're busy that day, let's say the full moon is tonight, okay? And we're busy and we're like, oh, I wish I could have, and now I can't do this. Instead of stressing out, because the key is to really ground our energy first so we can do it full force, we have 3 days, we have 72 hours. So
yes,
do it the next day, the day after. And I always say when you're releasing energy, do it when it's light outside because dark energy loves to hone itself and it's harder to release when
mhm,
it's dark. So turn the lights on and do it when it's light outside and go in a clockwise motion. But yeah, you have 3 days to do it.
right. I love that. Okay, so why don't we talk about the fire horse? So what can people expect if they're doing all of these practices, they're releasing, whether that's physically or emotionally or journaling, whatever practice, energetically, and now we're ready to call it in, because I believe isn't the eclipse on the 17th or something, then there's something on the 20th? There's
Yeah.
something with those 2 dates.
As well, it's a new moon coming up on the
Okay.
17th. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
very powerful phase we're heading into.
Yeah.
So first of all, about the fire horse. There's five elements in feng shui. There's earth, wood, water, metal, and fire. Okay. Then there's 12 animals in the zodiac.
Mhm.
And 12 times 5. So this fire horse is only going to come around every 61 years, this powerful combination. I just wanted to shed light on it of how important if let's say it was a wood horse, okay, it would be more grounding and movement forward. But put the fire under the horse. I mean, whether we're ready or not, it's going. So we might as well be more prepared for it and really hone in that it's energy because it's coming. So fire horse is as we know that the strength of the horse, it's courageous, it's bold, it's fast forward movement. And now you're adding the fire component to it. Whatever our intentions are, whatever we want to manifest. Of course, I always say that our intention, destiny, and our intention they go hand in hand. So we can't just say, well, the fire horse is here, and you know what? Hopefully, I'll get this because I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to do the word hopefully from
Yeah.
as many conversations as I'm able to guide people. Like it is up to us to do our part and know that we have the energy of the fire horse to take off with our intention.
Mm, yeah. So do you feel like what's the year coming after? Do we know?
I haven't looked into it.
Because I'm just wondering, like, if for people who are feeling like, "Oh my gosh, fire horse here," I'd be curious to know what we're gonna go into next, because I find if we're looking at energy, typically it's not gonna be something that's gonna pull you to, like, go, 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 and then keep go, 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 going. So, just understanding how fast a year goes by, and if this energy is on our side to have momentum build, I would assume it's meant to build momentum for the next few years. So it's like whatever intentions you set in place this year, whatever focus you bring forth, whatever momentum you create, at least in my life, I notice when I have a year of very focused intention, and action toward that thing, it carries me forth. So we're not meant to be go, 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 go all the time. And so I would assume that this year, if it's going to feel like that and a lot of momentum and a lot of movement forward, that you're going to have seasons of rest upcoming. And like this momentum is going to help carry you through. So just hone in on that and bring focus to that. Cause I know for myself, I can already feel it. Like I know projects that I started a few years ago, they're gonna take off this year. I can feel it's, like, brewing, and I think that's why I keep feeling this pull to just, like, stay in this season of I'm not super outward. I don't feel like talking a lot. I don't feel like being with a lot of people, like being in my house and just being in that energy, because I think it's preparing me for like how much is about to happen throughout this year. But that doesn't come without, like you said, intention. Like I already have those ideas of things that I really want to see move forward. And so is there anything that you feel we should be doing when it comes to intention setting? And if you want to pull us through an intention setting or visualization, you're more than welcome. Um, but maybe just things that people could note. So for myself, I'll give you an example, and I don't know if this is helpful, but like you've been to my home that we started, nothing has happened, right? It's permits have been stuck, everything's been stuck. But I can feel it's about to just be like boom and take off like crazy. And I don't know if that has anything to do with the years that we were in previously, and it was like releasing and it wasn't meant to be forward moving at that time, but I can feel things are happening and moving now. And so my intentions, I'm not going crazy. I'm keeping it simple. Like I want that house project to come to completion. I know I want to see growth in my business. And honestly, those are the only two things I'm really, and I would like to see podcast growth because I really think this is meant to reach more people. And so I'm keeping those three intentions, which are big projects, but simple, so that I'm not trying to do 10 million things all at once, because I think a scattered and confused mind does nothing. And so I'm pulling it back to like what's really important to me in this season. Those three things are the only things I'm going to put effort and focus in, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, yes. Was there anything you want to say on intention setting and why it's important to just get focused at the same time?
For me, the word intention setting is when I teach my feng shui vision board, just a whole chapter. It can you can apply it to anything. Intention, being intentional about what you're doing, not because you read it's the right time, not because somebody else is doing it and you think it worked for them, or let me go try it too, not because somebody told you to do it, but you're not feeling it inside. Intention setting really ground that energy within yourself. And as the messages will come, remove the
Mhm.
clutter. Make the time, ground your
Yeah.
energy. Messages will come right now. This is again, we're in the shedding phase. And to answer your other question about, the fire horse and the momentum and what's coming next, the reason I don't go forward more than a year ago, I mean, I will towards the end of the phase, because then of course my own life I will also start, is I like to, if it's anything I've learned in my life experiences at this age in my life, is to really just be. I'm a
Mhm.
star sign that's go, go, go. Okay.
Mhm.
And all my life, if it's to be, then it's up to me. And I had such a hard time transitioning from it because I wanted to, but now it comes naturally. I
Mhm.
just want to focus on being where I am and really, one, appreciating it for what it is. And then secondly, the more present I am, the more gratitude I can express for it.
Mhm.
What happened today? What happened yesterday? What's going to happen tomorrow that I'm excited? Doesn't mean I don't have a vision for myself or my business, but at the same time, I'm mindfully not jumping ahead.
Right. Yeah.
And it goes back to intention. Intention is, let me give you an example. When I guide my clients on the feng shui, let's say that they needed a water fountain in a certain area for prosperity in their home. Okay, I guide them. Don't just go on Amazon. Purchase the first one that you see in a rush while you're out the door, or late for sleeping. And it arrives, quickly unwrap it, put water in it, place it there, and say, I think that's what Mina said, and I hope it works.
Right.
Versus really connect to the one. And I always say there's no deadline. You don't have to do it tomorrow, but make the time. Read your report and see, this is what it's going to serve me. Get the one that you love. When it comes, clean it with love, put filtered water in it and activate it. Place it where it's meant to go and say, oh, this is my wealth area or my career, wherever it's meant to go, connect with it. Every time you go by, your subconscious mind connects to it,
Mhm.
express gratitude. You see, intention is everything.
Yeah, I feel that. Even in how I'm moving lately, I've been noticing I'm like, whoa, I'm moving so much slower. But it's not to be slow, it's with intention. And I used to be the same where it was just like, go, 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 rush, rush, rush. How much can I fit in? Like, brrr. And now I really just, I don't even know how to function like that anymore. Sometimes there's days that are like that. And I'm like, oh, wow, I still have it in me. I can do that. But I choose not to. Like I used to, let's say I had 1 hour, even before this, like I could have squeezed in the gym just because I'm like, oh, I have some time. I went to Pilates. I could go to the gym too. And then I was like, yeah, but then I'm going to be rushed. And do I really want to live my life that way. Like then I'm making a conscious choice to continue living rushed, and I don't want to do that anymore. Like I appreciate just moving a little bit slower. So it really does come down to awareness, and intentionality is so key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what's in our control.
Yes.
We know a lot of times we focus on, well, I wish this, or I don't know, why doesn't this happen? Well, we'll start with what's in our control.
Hmm. So true. Okay, so why don't we, if you have any last thoughts on Firehorse here, what are some things people could do if they are going to set intentions or want to see this as a momentum year? What could they do? And then maybe finish us with either you choose visualization or meditation, something like that.
Yeah, I have a beautiful short meditation that I created for it's so perfect for this phase that we're going through. And intention setting, again, it's all in us. We don't have to go take a course on it or go shopping for it. It's all in us. Be aware, be mindful, get some rest, drink lots of water, just journal, ground our energy, use certain crystals that are calling you, make use of the moon phases. Every 2 weeks we have new moon, new intentions. 2 weeks later, it's a full moon. Release what's not serving us, and then get ready to manifest again. These are simple things. And then the universe starts to, and I always call it a beautiful energetic dance. Like we do our part, and all of a sudden, little things start to show up. And we're like, okay, well, then let me do more. And then more things show up. But I always say it's an energetic dance, but somebody has to take that first step.
Right. I love that. All right. Do you want to lead us through a little meditation?
Yes, I'm going to turn my camera off because I'm going to ground my energy. It's a beautiful short meditation. And it is all about releasing right now. And once done, I'll turn the camera back on.
Amazing.
Okay? Close your eyes and come with me as we take a journey into the mind, body, and space. Let your body settle, releasing any tension or pain you might be experiencing. Lowering your shoulders, releasing your jaw, softening your stomach, relaxing your arms and legs, and let your body melt into this deep meditation. As we move through the final phase of the wood snake, this meditation is about release. You can do this at any time, especially in the next coming 10 days. This is a powerful closing cycle, a time to clear what has been lingering and let go before the next energy begins. Take a deep breath, inhale peace, and exhale resistance. Miracles do not arrive when we try to force them. They arrive when we make space for them. Healing begins the moment we stop forcing and start trusting. Surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. Everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't make sense. When we trust the divine timing, your body softens and your energy settles. Now let's intentionally create space and release what no longer belongs. Recite these release affirmations in your mind, or you can say them out loud. I let go of replaying the past and questioning my choices. I release emotional weight that no longer serves me. I let go of carrying what was never mine to hold. I release worry about the future and return to trust in this moment. I release fear around timing and trust life's flow. I let go of rushing my growth or comparison. I release old expectations and trust what's meant to unfold. I release the need to force progress and allow natural momentum to build. Final closing meditation. Clear what has completed its cycle. I clear what has completed its cycle and open space for what is meant to unfold as the wood snake phase comes to a close. Now, envision all that you want to release floating away, leaving your body, leaving your leaving the energetic spaces it might be housing in your home, floating away, far away from you. And all that's left behind is clean, nurturing, manifesting energy in your energetic space in all shapes and forms. Envision you're surrounded by the white light. When you're ready, rub your hands, put them on your face, and gently open your eyes into this beautiful reset space that you just created right now.
So good. And
Again,
so
sorry,
short.
your followers don't need to follow this word per word.
Hmm.
Make it your own. I'm big on the words, make it their own and really call in. It's the intention.
Hmm. I just want to point out how that was a few minutes and how different you feel when you just take those few minutes to go inward and then you re-enter the world. Like it's almost like you're emerging, but the energy is so different because you're so grounded and you're grounded in you and your own energy. And so just to share, I think sometimes we overcomplicate a meditation and we think, oh, we need to be thought free or full silence. And no, like a guided meditation like that is so perfect to help you just clear, center, ground, release whatever needs to be released and tune into you.
Yeah, it really is that simple. It really just is that simple. Like you say, we make it complicating. There's so much out there. They can find the one that resonates with them to start with, and then it's making the time and the space every morning. Do reset. See, you're already resetting. You're releasing.
No, I'm releasing. Every
That's
every intention, it was like a huh and then like a shake. Yeah.
I want to do too much of it, but again, just making it your own.
Hmm. Love. Okay, so where can people find you? How can they just hear more from you and stay connected to you?
I always say when the universe gives them a nudge, we don't follow up. We don't, it is what it is. When the universe gives somebody a nudge, God willing, I'll be here. And my calling is called Momentum Feng Shui and energy clearing. That's what I do. Right now, we just taught vision board courses. It's perfect time to manifest. But first, before we manifest, release.
Yes.
So
Release.
Quantum Feng Shui, we're very active on Instagram. That's a one part that I do share. It's my way of giving back. That's how I give back. We post a lot of material on there, time appropriate. In this case, it's about these phases, whatever we may be heading into in the future as well. So I share simple things on there that we can all do in our space.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here. This was so good and just so valuable. And now I feel like I was gonna record another podcast after this because I have some stuff I need to share, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to. I'm gonna sit in this for a minute. So, thank
Like,
you
oh,
so much for your time. I'm excited. I might have you come out to this house too, but as soon as the other house starts, I'll have you back because I want to make sure we're still taking into account everything that you know and all of your wisdom.
thank you so much, Annie. I do what I do from my heart, and I need platform like yours to spread the word, and I'm very grateful for this.
Yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we've got this in the calendar. I'm excited for it to go live and we'll talk soon. Thank you so much for your time. Bye.